The market is right here, and I personally think we're on borrowed time. Sometimes you just have to buck up and lead, and people have got to follow. Those who are fighting against this whole trip to Vegas, this whole move.
Kody, you were so wrong about the housing market. If he had just waited a little longer, he could have sold that house for nearly $1 million. Instead, he made a sweet $91,000. But had he listened to Christine and Janelle, who were right all along about not rushing to move, he could have made a solid $402,000. Just imagine that times 4. They could have been living the dream. But no, Kody had to run around fear-mongering and gaslighting these ladies, convincing them they'd lose everything if they didn't move. And look at him now. Oops. Season 13, Episode 4, just delivers, doesn't it? Honestly, you could start 1,000 sentences with Kody was so wrong about. Let's start with marrying Robin, shall we? Or maybe how he prioritized Robin and her kids over the original wives and their children. And don't even get me started on the way he treated Christine while she was in labor with Truly. Let's not forget the 11-day honeymoon with Robin. Meanwhile, Christine was stuck at home with a newborn and 5 other kids. But of course, Robin only allowed him to leave for 2 days. Heaven forbid the other kids get some of his attention. Or how about when Kody didn't even bother to help out with Truly or give Aspen and Logan a hand when the wives went on a trip? Instead, he was busy helping the full-time nanny with Sol and Aerie, despite having 3 teenagers who could have pitched in. The list just goes on. And then there's Flagstaff and Coyote Pass. Any money Kody gets, it's all going to the OG3, and it's about time. The Kody and Robin family can just keep living in Dayton's RV. Kody likes to play the smart businessman, but honestly, I've never seen someone so busy and yet accomplish so little. He showed just how clueless he was about real estate when he and Janelle went back and forth about buying Christine's house. He pushed to buy Robin's place for rental income later, and what's happening now? They're selling it. Meanwhile, Kody probably considers all the art he's bought an investment, but really, what's the value when anyone could go out and buy the same pieces? Kody might have made some moves, but it seems like the only one winning in this scenario is Robin. She wanted to move, and of course, Kody made it happen. Go figure. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Christine isn't wrong, okay? Let's just address the elephant in the room. Christine has caught some serious heat for not chatting with Crybros and Baldilocks at the baby sprinkle. But honestly, I've been waiting for someone to say this out loud, so here we go. Christine has always been all in for the kids, and it's honestly ridiculous that people are acting like she forgot about her kids just because she didn't feel like making nice with. And let's not forget the countless ways she's always prioritized the children, always. Christine is under zero obligation to talk to Sobin and Grody. What she's obligated to do is show up for her kids, which she absolutely does. She's also responsible for keeping the drama at bay and minimizing the nonsense, which, surprise, surprise, she did. Oh, and she's also tasked with keeping the focus on Mykelti, which, let's be real, Mykelti would have taken no other way, and that's exactly what she did. What she isn't obligated to do: smile and tolerate Kody's BS, or endure his constant badmouthing, financial manipulation, and complete neglect of the OG-13. She's not obligated to pretend his breath doesn't smell like a garbage fire, or to act like it's not burning her nostrils. Let's just be clear, it's not. It seems like people are confusing keep sweet with being a responsible mother and Oma. Kody's completely unhinged, and Robin is primed to burst into tears at the slightest breeze. So I'm not exactly convinced that Christine trying to engage with them wouldn't set off some sort of catastrophic emotional explosion. Also, let's talk about Turbojaw and Demon Eyes. They could have made the effort to approach and talk to Christine, but guess what? Nobody's dragging them for it. I get it though, they're the messes we expect them to be. But come on, can we stop holding Christine to a higher standard than the Narc twins? It's just tacky at this point. Honestly, I'm here for Monday's episode. I can already feel the drama coming. And you know what? I agree. I wouldn't be confrontational either, but there's no way in hell I'm playing nice with someone who emotionally and financially abused me, or someone who straight up trashed me on national television. Kody is a garbage human, and Robin's just the co-signer, hiding in the background, always acting confused, but never actually calling out the blatant nonsense. Look, parents should try to co-parent, but Christine, she was doing her best. Kody hurt her kids, the OG 13, and he hurt them badly. You hurt my kids? Be thankful I'm even letting you breathe the same air in the same room. Honestly, I think they all did a great job at the sprinkle. Was it awkward? Absolutely. But they showed up for my Kelty, and that's the bottom line. They didn't speak, but they didn't start anything either. This wasn't some huge drama fest, and honestly, it reminded me of divorced family members who still can't sit in the same room as their ex after 30 years. Exes are nuts, and I don't know why people are acting like this was some massive betrayal. Christine set a boundary and stuck to it, and that deserves a round of applause. If Kody was just your garden variety cheating ex-husband, and Robin was just the classic mistress-turned-wife, I could see where people might think Christine's refusal to speak to them is a little immature. I mean, it's your daughter's baby shower, at least be cordial, right? But no, Kody is not just a cheating ex, and Robin is not just a mistress. They literally stole from Christine and financially abused her. They kept her poor, loveless, and isolated, while gaslighting her and making her feel like she was crazy for being unhappy. And let's not forget the tantrum Kody threw when Christine announced she was leaving. Dude was almost physically abusive, and the fact that the other wives flinched around him speaks volumes. Don't even get me started on the fight with Janelle. She didn't look scared or shocked, just tired, like this wasn't her first rodeo. I'm fully convinced Kody's been scary when the cameras aren't around. These two were so busy exploiting Christine's misery for their own gain, all while cozying up in their little private love nest, away from the family and the cameras. It's downright diabolical. And the looks they exchanged when Mary noticed the horse rings? They thought it was hilarious. They mocked Christine, no doubt, especially because she was the most vocal about her complaints. Kody and Robin robbed Christine of the chance at a happy, loving family. They took her opportunity for a real partnership with a husband who treated her as an equal. And then, to add insult to injury, they probably laughed about it behind her back. She spent 30 years being used and abused by the people who were supposed to love her. How does a person even come to terms with that kind of betrayal? So yeah, I don't blame Christine at all for wanting nothing to do with them. She was brave just showing up to that event. If it were me, I'd either be having a panic attack or avoiding the whole thing altogether. Christine is clearly thinking ahead. Over the years, several of the kids, Kelty and Gwen, for sure, have mentioned how the family pot of TLC money was used by the adults to fund major expenses. Things like down payments on homes, surgeries, medical bills, and even college tuition came up as examples. Now, Christine is realizing that the family pot has likely been drained, and if she needs anything for Truly, she's basically at Kody's mercy. And let's be honest, Truly is probably going to want to go to college one day, and, a wedding too. Christine's decision to file for child support makes perfect sense now. She's smart enough to see that Kody isn't going to help with these inevitable expenses on his own. Why would he? After all, he's busy funneling all his money into Robin's kids to fund their multiple college degrees and most likely grand weddings. And oh, isn't that just great for Robin, by the way? Meanwhile, Christine knows full well that if Truly needs a student loan or if she and David have to foot the bill, Kody isn't lifting a finger. Kody's responsibility here is simple. He is morally and legally obligated to contribute to his daughter's care. Period. Full stop. If he doesn't, then he's just being a classic deadbeat dad. And let's face it, that's been his pattern all along. It also seems like Christine might be setting things up to save for Truly's future, which is honestly pretty smart. It'll be interesting to watch this play out. I'm sure when Christine saw all the shiny, overpriced decor in the real estate listing, it clicked. The math became clear. Kody's been using family funds to line his and Robin's pockets, rather than supporting his actual children. Classic Kody move. Christine was not a bad sister wife. I haven't caught up with the new season, but I've been rewatching the older stuff, and let me tell you, Christine put in the effort. You can't convince me that she didn't bend over backwards to be a good sister wife, no matter what Kody claims. Even from the start, she admitted she wasn't exactly warm to Robin. She apologized for it and tried to change. She spent endless time begging Kody to understand her perspective, to validate her feelings. She wasn't asking for the moon, just for her husband to care about her and her kids again, instead of focusing on his shiny new toy. She felt completely neglected, abandoned. Yet every time, she pushed her own feelings aside to put the whole family first. It didn't matter how much it hurt her, she kept making the sacrifices. And let's not forget, Christine was always there for all the kids, bio and bonus. It's rare that you see others putting in the same level of effort. Janelle, though, was the exception. They came into the family around the same time, and their kids were close in age, so they naturally bonded. But their friendship also grew stronger as they supported each other through everything, both with and without the kids. Kody once told them in therapy that the only way they'd really be sister wives was if they stuck together once he was out of the picture. Guess what? When they left Kody, it was Christine and Janelle who stayed close. Not Robin, not Mary, just Christine and Janelle. So tell me again how Christine was such a horrible sister wife that she deserved Kody's resentment? She was a great mom, worked her butt off to make plural marriage work, and when she realized it wasn't possible anymore, she left. She probably should have done it sooner, but not because she was a bad sister wife, because Kody was a terrible husband to her and the kids after Robin came along. But of course, Kody's too self-absorbed to look at himself. Honestly, I think each of the OG 3 wives tried, but in a system like that, there's no way to win. Kody didn't like Christine, he was over Mary, and he treated Janelle's kids like they were an afterthought. There was constant tension because none of their needs were met. And all of them were stuck in this mess where Kody was manipulating them into conflict. And let's talk about Robin's arrival. Christine was pregnant heavily and had to watch her husband fall head over heels for another woman. Kody was giddy, driving hours every weekend to see her, then took an 11-day honeymoon while Christine was at home with a newborn. Yeah, I would have been upset too. It's not surprising she wasn't welcoming. In my opinion, Robin's got a major jealousy issue when it comes to Christine. Maybe she wasn't the best sister wife at first, but who wouldn't feel jealous and hurt if your husband basically abandoned you for someone else? Christine tried harder, but honestly, she shouldn't have had to. Robin wanted to be the heart of the family, but Christine already had that role. Robin just thought she could swoop in and take over without doing the work. And we all know Robin sees how much Kody loves her. She knew just how to work him up, accusing Christine of being a terrible sister wife. Even though Christine wasn't at all, Robin kept pushing that narrative, using Kody to bully Christine into submission. Classic manipulation. I get so frustrated when people bring up how Christine admitted she was a princess. Seriously? Kody used their religion to gaslight her into thinking she was being unreasonable for wanting her fair share of time, resources, and support. If Kody had treated all his wives and kids fairly, I truly believe the whole family wouldn't have imploded. But that's a lot of ifs that never happened. When Kody and the Browns were knee-deep in the adoption process of Robin's kids, one of their master plans was for Robin to drop her long-running child support battle, but only if Kody adopted her kids. I mean, why not use child support negotiations as leverage, right? Kody's main argument was that Robin's ex was a total deadbeat who didn't bother to see the kids or financially support them. So in Kody's flawless logic, he should just step in, claim dad status, and we all pretend the real father doesn't exist. So touching. But wait, am I the only one who thinks Christine might have low-key started all this drama to set the stage for David adopting Truly? I mean, Kody's argument for adopting Robin's kids? Perfectly transferable. He hasn't financially supported or even seen Truly in God knows how long. According to Kody's own logic, the guy who actually stepped up and did something should just adopt her. So imagine that. Does anyone else think Christine might casually drop the child support lawsuit if Kody agreed to let David adopt Truly? Seems like a reasonable exchange. Honestly, I think Christine is just being savvy. She's seen the pile of cash Kody wasted on art, and I'm pretty sure she'd like to see that money actually fund Truly's future, like maybe college. Yeah, that would be a solid investment. Because the only way this adoption idea works is if Truly's the one pushing for it. And I highly doubt that's happening anytime soon. But hey, can't blame her for making this a financial play. Kody better get ready to pay up. Christine is playing her cards well here. She knows that after his exquisite track record with Robin's kids, Kody's hands are tied. He either pays up or shuts up. And it's genius timing on Christine's part, especially since Kody's income is going to drop when the show ends. She might even let him reduce the amount later. But those 3 years of back support, they're based on Kody's current income. Oh, and let's not forget that Kody actually thought he could get away with not supporting his minor daughter because Christine sold her house. Classic. I mean, what kind of grown man thinks like that? Looks like Christine woke up and realized that if she doesn't get the money now, she may never see it. The sale of the McMansion probably gave her the wake-up call she needed. It's now or never. As someone going through a divorce, I completely get it. I understand Mary's situation. I really do. I get why she stayed for so long, holding onto that thread of hope. I get why Janelle hesitated to make any moves until the finances were sorted. And, of course, I totally understand why Christine left, because let's face it, when your partner doesn't find you attractive or love you, it's hard to stick around. I get all the angles of this mess. Mary, in particular, catches a lot of hate, but I think people overlook the religious aspect, not to mention the huge pride factor. There's this deep, stubborn part of you that refuses to believe the love you shared is completely gone. The we were once happy part that lingers. You want to believe that somehow, if you just hold on, things will go back to how they were. You feel robbed of the love of the joy of the future. You wonder if you can be better, fix things. Especially when he's busy blaming the catfishing. You start to believe it's your fault. Well, maybe I wasn't the best wife. Maybe I messed this up. It's like Stockholm Syndrome, especially when you're dealing with someone who's a master manipulator. Mary says in the latest episode that everyone keeps telling her finally, and she feels validated by it. That tells me Kody's been blaming and shaming her for so long that she truly believed she was the problem. I get it. I really do. She didn't stay because of her ego. She stayed to feed his ego. She stayed to win back his love, even though that's a game you can never win with someone who thrives on narcissism. Honestly, it's heartbreaking to see people hate on her. I feel like I've been there. I've been her. You convince yourself you're worthless and that you're the only one who could have saved the marriage. Every time he mistreats you, it's like you internalize it, thinking it's your problem to fix. If you just stay loyal, keep quiet, and don't rock the boat, maybe, just maybe, you'll earn back what you once had. But with someone like Kody, you're never going to get that back. He'll throw you just enough scraps to keep you hanging on, and eventually you break. It takes years of emotional abuse before you can break free, and I'm not surprised Mary ended up where she did. But now that she has the space to breathe, I'm genuinely excited for her. I hope she can really live her best life and figure out what she truly wants. There's a floodgate of possibility opening up for her, and I'm rooting for that. Look, I'm not saying Mary was perfect or didn't make mistakes, but I get it now. I see her in a way I didn't before. I'm sure a lot of people who go hard on her are actually just yelling at their past selves, the versions of themselves that wish they'd moved on sooner. I get that too. It's easy to say, why didn't you leave earlier, when you're standing on the other side? But when you're in it, it's a whole different ballgame. After you finally break free, it's almost like you're hit with a ton of bricks. How much you put up with for how long. But in the moment, you don't see it. You just don't. That's why I feel for Mary. It's not until you step away and really look back that you realize, I should have left years ago. And let's not forget, Mary's mom was still alive, constantly telling her that divorce was a sin, that if she left, she'd break her covenant and lose her chance at the highest level of heaven. Mary literally didn't have the power to leave until her mom was gone. I think you're right, though. Mary's religious beliefs are at the core of her struggle. Her faith means everything to her, and for someone like her, that's a powerful motivator. Over the years, we've learned a few things about Mary. 1. She's incredibly honest. Therapy made that clear. 2. Kody and Janelle have both called her loyal in confessionals. 3. And for a long time, Kody did love her. I think Mary hung on to those memories and her faith, hoping it would all work out. Nothing cracks me up more than watching Kody and Robin argue outside their oversized mansion, both bundled up in coats like it's the middle of a blizzard, all because she refuses to let them film inside. Seriously, Robin, you're filming a reality show and you won't even let the crew in your house. At this point, why not just head over to Salsa Brava and film there for all I care? Let me put it how my brother put it. Robin's the wife, and she clearly doesn't want the rest of them in her home. Doesn't want them, period. That's why she keeps them out. No mystery there. But honestly, what's her deal? I mean, sure, their house might not be winning any design awards, but they at least cleaned it up enough for the listing photos when they put it on the market. So why the no entry policy for the wives and the film crew? What's the big secret? I can't stand the whole no filming in the house thing either. This show is barely hanging on, and if I were a producer, I'd either cancel it or threaten to pull the plug if we don't get full access. Robin's acting like she's suddenly shy, but we all know better. Let's not even get started on the younger wife who thinks she can lecture the OG3 on polygamy after being in it for, 5 minutes? Or that cringeworthy purity speech. Oh, and don't forget the even more awkward portrait with the swapped-out kids. Yeah, she's so confused about all of it. After lecturing the others on how they don't speak Kody's language or manage their finances. Classic.